Trini Ross has already made history in her role as the top federal prosecutor here in Western New York. She's been on the job for about 2 months now.
And earlier this week, Ross sat down with News 4's Chris Hervadas to tell us what she hopes to accomplish.
What's different, Chris, I think about me is that I have a level of understanding that perhaps other people in this position had not had in the past.
When she took her post earlier this fall, Trini Ross became the first African-American woman to serve as U.S. Attorney for the Western District of New York.
I am a black woman, but that's not the most meaningful part of me having this job. The most meaningful part of me having this job is my ability to be able to do this job and lead this office and lead the 17 counties in the Western District of New York to reduce crime.
She takes over from J.P. Kennedy, who spent about 5 years as the region's top federal prosecutor. Ross is no stranger to the office. She was an assistant U.S. attorney here for 23 years.
These are communities where I lived. I grew up on the west side. I lived on the east side in the Bailey, Kensington area for 9 years and raised children there. I understand these communities, I understand the people, I understand the mindset.
More recently, Ross was the Director of Investigations for the Legal Division of the National Science Foundation's Office of Inspector General. That was in Washington. Now that she's back home, here's what Ross wants the people of Western New York to know about her.
That I want to re-engage with the community. I want this office to gain back the trust that has been lost in the criminal justice system.
She wants to do that with outreach. She says she's working with the FBI, which has already had one community meeting, and plans to have a community liaison. All while at the same time, Ross's office will continue to prosecute federal cases.
We're in a pandemic. The government is pushing out a lot of money to deal with that pandemic, and with that comes fraud. We're in a time of kind of civil unrest, and with that comes other issues.
And of course, Ross is aware of the violence which has plagued the streets of Buffalo and Rochester in 2021. Kennedy, her predecessor, organized the Viper Task Force in July earlier this year to combat gun violence in the city's streets. In just its first 2 months, the task force had taken 122 guns off the streets. That's according to federal prosecutors.
Whatever works from that task force, we are going to take and move it forward. We're probably not going to have a task force exactly like that one that was set up, where we're sending federal agents into communities, but we will have a task force where we are looking at crime numbers, areas, and what we can do to decrease that.